On Women's Day, while talking about women in general, we are going to talk many aspects about the woman. But is it only the gender difference which makes a creature woman differ from the opposite main gender in many aspects? Certainly the aspects like physiological, biological, psychological and philosophical. There are huge differences between these two genders. That makes man and woman as a different entity in the existence. Whereas, to put forward these differences, we have to think about many aspects. What makes the woman, what she has, the qualities. Like woman may have a greater receptive power. She lives longer than a man, almost 5 years more. And that's why you see so many widows in the world. The women are more resistant to illness, the diseases. Women are more tolerant, more accepting, and where this strength comes from is from her receptivity. The second point is women are in love. To be feminine is to become a passive. To be feminine is to allow. To be feminine is to wait. To become a feminine is not to be in hurry or tensed. To be feminine is to be loved. And all these femininity characteristics makes women the entity to be loved. Women have a more stamina as comparatively. And that you will see that why they become more mature than the boys. Women fall sick less than the man. Women are more not to be susceptible for the suicidal tendencies. At the most, they're always having the resistance and the strong psychological strength compared to the man. Women are less violent because they are more patient, more tolerant than men. Men are more and very impatient, more intolerant. That's why women are less violent than men. Men, who are the one who are seeking always ready for the war, who invents all kind of deadly weapons, nuclear weapons, atomic bomb. But the woman, she is completely out of this whole game of death. Women don't compete. Women cannot be competitive. They cannot fight. They cannot struggle. And if you find any woman somewhere who is struggling and fights, who is a competitive, then something in womanhood is missing in her. Physically, she may be woman, psychologically, she is a man. Well, let women grow. We will have a more beautiful world if all women and women are there more in the numbers, and if they are allowed to grow in their talents, their genius, there won't be a question at all. Nobody is higher, nobody is lower. Women are women, Men are men. They have a differences. They are polar apart, but the differences don't make anybody higher and lower. Their differences create their attraction, and that's how the existence is in balance. Women don't owe anything to men. Men and women should not be in a contract of anything, even a marriage. They should be in love, but they should remain in their freedom. They don't owe anything to each other. Women are sexy. They are totally different kind of being. Her whole body needs love. It is not sexually. Her whole body is orgasmic. You know, like woman takes a lot of interest in the psychological and emotional investment. So you got to be more loving to the woman only as a ritual. Love should be the only way for a man and woman to live together. No other ritual is needed. Why should women behave like a man? No, not needed. Women all over the world are trying to be every possible way to behave like a man. They are wearing men clothes, smoking cigarettes like men, or whatsoever, The language also they are just trying to use like the man have used, and becoming arrogant, aggressive, losing the femininity quality. See, the women of the liberation movement, they have lost something soft, feminine, receptive, passive. It's not there. It's not needed to be a masculine. Although women have a masculine trait and men have a feminine trait inbuilt from and in their DNA. And they have to balance that itself in their inner beings. Women are not dictated by time. The feminine mind cannot have a sense of time. It is a male, aggressive mind who is a time oriented and time conscious. The female is not never in a hurry. She has a lot of patience. Women make natural disciples. They are more receptive. They are more in surrender. They are very easy, natural part in feminine being. Surrender is easy for her. She becomes one more adaptive. And that's why spiritually she goes higher, more earlier to the path. Women are more intuitive. If you ask a feminine part, it will not give you any logic. It is simply say, no, don't take it. Just women, they don't argue. They simply conclude. Argument is not feminine. The process of argument is not appealing. So the intuition is a conclusive. Reason to go is they have a more signal and radar developed into it. So celebrate your femininity. Happy Women's Day.